me, art is a way of expressing myself.
Right.
I take to colors because I just feel I can just let go. It's not like I'm not trying to be an artist. I'm just letting myself out.
Hello everyone, this is TERAVARNA again with artist Poornima Dayal from Mumbai, India, and we are here in our beautiful house, very spacious and filled with paintings, which I'm gonna show later on. Have a walk through of our studio. But right now I'm gonna ask her some questions, and hopefully we know a lot more about her artwork and how she does it. Beautiful pieces. She's been with us for a while now. So hi Poornima, how's it going?
Hi, I'm good, thank you. And it's really a delight to have TERAVARNA over in India with us in Mumbai. And they've been appreciating and promoting me since a very long time now. And thank you so much for this opportunity again.
Sure. It's our privilege. So can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
So basically, I've been painting for over 3 decades now.
Okay.
And I belong to Delhi, and that's where when I was about 13 years of age, my parents just got me a canvas and they got me some oil colors, and I just started putting that onto canvas. And
13?
Yes,
Okay.
I was 13, yes. And then gradually it just sort of developed. And then I joined, after my schooling, I joined the Delhi College of Arts for my graduation in Fine Arts. And then I completed that, and then art just sort of flew from me, and it was very fluid, and all the time I was painting and I was designing greeting cards and doing lots of shows. So it's been on since then.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the greeting cards, those were for commercial purposes?
Those were for commercial purpose. Those were usually for, seasons greeting cards or any festivals, occasions. So that's why. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. And so this was the college that you're in. That was like a 4-year college, or
yes,
it's
a 4-year college.
Oh yeah, okay.
So
it was an art college. Okay.
Yes, it's Bachelor's in Fine Arts.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so you started at 13, you said, and then that stayed on to you until like
until now.
Until now. Okay.
Yes, and I hope to carry it on.
Yeah,
always.
yeah. It's and then you have. Quite a few. Some styles are very recognizable, but there are some that are, sometimes I'm like thrown off. Like you do a little bit different style, and sometimes which is good.
Yeah, because it depends on the series that I'm doing. Because I usually paint in series,
right?
And it's usually for a show, or if it just comes to me, I just keep doing it, and that's why they keep changing. Though it's always very abstract,
right?
Though it has a concept,
right?
Yes.
So. How long do you paint each day, or is it like a daily affair, or is it?
Usually if I have a show coming up, it's a daily affair, and I just go on. I mean, I just keep going on till I feel I'm done for the day and I'm satisfied with what's come out. It could look totally different the next day because it just depends. The same art piece can turn into something new because I paint in layers.
Right, yeah. And so the medium that you're using, I found, a lot of acrylic colors here. So have you always been using acrylic?
No, I used to use oils. Initially, when I was 13, I began with oils.
Right.
And almost till 20 years I was doing oils.
Okay.
Yeah, and I had all my shows with oil colors, and exhibits were made of oil paints.
Okay.
But then gradually, as I advanced in my artwork, I realized that I could try a lot of textures, and there was a lot of vibrancy in acrylics. And so I moved on to acrylics.
Yeah, the other thing is the drying part.
Part,
yeah, sometimes
yes,
if you have a show coming up,
oil takes long.
Yeah, you need to have like some people are not patient.
Yes, maybe I'm one of those.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, I painted in oil, and then sometimes, and then also the smell and everything. It's sometimes it becomes. I like to paint in both.
Yeah.
So which one do you prefer more? I mean, like.
I prefer acrylic.
Acrylic. Okay.
Yes. Though I use a lot of tools for my artwork. So besides,
for instance,
so tools like I use all kinds of spatulas and all kinds of brushes,
rollers and stuff.
Rollers
okay,
and
got it.
all of that. Yes.
And so and then as far as the mediums go, your favorite then is acrylic.
Yes, yes.
Okay, and then have you worked with like completely different kind of medium, like I mean,
yes, I've worked with
watercolor or pastel?
watercolors. Yes, watercolors.
Okay.
And I've done a couple of figuratives in watercolors,
Okay,
and
okay.
Also with a slight abstract tint to it, you know, because that's my
Always had
style.
that. Yeah, exactly.
Yes, and I find them very fluid. So for example, if I'm making a cityscape, which is my, you know, I love doing cityscapes.
I've seen that. Yeah.
Yeah. So if I'm doing a cityscape, I would love to use watercolors, but I'm not doing that lately for some reason. I don't know why.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe because I feel I get limited to a size of paper.
Exactly.
And I like doing it on large canvases sometimes, so I don't do that.
Right. I mean, the maximum I think you can get on watercolor is like 24 by 36 max.
That's
you know,
max.
Even that is
yes.
difficult to work with. And with watercolor, to fill it up is a lot of
yes,
a lot of effort.
And
right?
as I said, patience.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Okay. Excellent. So who's been your inspiration? Like, have you had any inspiration?
Well, I love the very famous artists, of course, and in India we've had an artist by the name of Raza, who was very famous, and we also have Hussein, whose works are so very well known. But then their styles are very different to mine.
Very different.
And I feel I don't really follow as such. I don't copy anybody.
Right.
Because I just sit, I don't even know what I'm going to paint. I only know I'm painting a series and a particular style. And I just sit with my colors and my brush and it just sort of flows. So, and then I don't have an artist in my mind. Though I love art and I love going to galleries and museums and seeing art and appreciating them. But at the same time, maybe they leave an impression somewhere, I'm sure, because of which it comes out of me. But as it is, I just paint on my own. It's just my own independent style.
So you said you were influenced by Maqbul Fida Hussain, right?
Yes.
So he did a lot of figurative. I mean, a lot of representation. But it was
still, if you notice his coloring style,
exactly,
the way he put it onto his figures,
absolutely,
it's got something else very unique to it.
Right. Yeah. And leaves a lot of negative spaces.
Yes, he does. Yeah. Yes.
So when he was working, back like many years back, you actually used to follow him. And, I mean, like follow meaning like
you
used to follow his work.
I mean, I still do. Very recently, I've been asked to. A very senior artist, he's not there anymore, but I've been asked to restore his artworks, and I take it as my privilege. It's an honor for me to be able to doing his restoration work. So maybe when I've done it, I'll send you a picture of
Absolutely, that'll be excellent.
Yes. And so even Guy Tonde, who's who was very famous, and that's another style I like.
Okay. So you follow that. Okay.
Yeah.
As far as art style goes, like if I wanted to ask you about like let's say art movement or art periods, realistic or I don't know, impressionism or post-impressionism, abstract expressionism, like which one do you most adhere to or like more?
Frankly, I have visited a lot of museums.
Sure.
And though I paint abstract because it just gives me the freedom to express, but I like the Renaissance art.
Renaissance, okay.
Yes, it's very, it has something to it.
Right. It has the light and the light and shadow and everything.
Yes.
But it's, if I may say so, like it's very different from what you paint.
Yes,
though, right?
Totally. Because for me, art is a way of expressing myself.
Right.
So it's, I take to colors because I just feel I can just let go.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it's not like I'm not trying to be an artist.
Sure.
I'm just letting myself out.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Renaissance, it's very like what you would call these days, I think, is academic, right? Because it's more study.
There's so much to study.
You're very skilled, absolutely. You need to learn that in order for it to transcend.
Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And so, what kind of like galleries have you shown your work in? for instance, in India, first of all.
Yeah, so I have exhibited at the Jahangir Art Gallery, which is
Okay,
very
that's
famous
famous,
here,
yeah.
and about 3-4 times.
Okay.
And I've been all around in India. I think I've exhibited here at the Hyderabad Museum, at the Telangana Art Gallery.
Okay, it's
I've
just
exhibited
there.
in
That's
Chennai
great.
3 times.
Okay.
And yeah, quite a few. Mumbai,
yeah.
many places.
We have shows coming up in like LA. We are doing physical shows.
Yes.
For instance, in Budapest,
Budapest,
we did, yeah.
yes.
And then did you submit your work there, or were you like
Yes,
interested in the
I
LA
was
art show
selected
maybe,
as a
or-
winner for your Budapest.
Okay,
And my
okay.
artwork was there in the recent one.
Yeah, okay,
Yes.
great.
Yes.
Okay, excellent. You didn't travel there though.
I didn't travel there
Yeah, okay,
because
okay. I thought you were going to come there.
I was
know
going
you
to
were-
come,
we were
but then I
talking.
didn't come. So,
Yeah,
but my
okay.
art is still there.
Right,
Yes.
yeah. Exactly,
Yes,
yeah. Okay,
yes.
excellent, yeah. So that's one of those in Golden Duck Gallery. We are trying to
Yes.
promote artists, and
That was really nice.
and-
Thank you. Yes.
yeah, sure. So
Yes.
it's a really great gallery.
Yeah.
We like it, and
Yeah.
we like partnering with
Yes.
Katya with the
Yes.
gallery there.
Yeah.
And we have a few other European galleries that we're looking into,
Okay,
and
okay.
in Spain and in Malta.
Yes.
So right now, I mean, there'll be
Yes.
more
Yes.
places. But for instance, LA Art Show, that's the other one
Yes.
that we
Yes.
right now we are holding like almost regularly. Like this year
Okay.
we'll also, I mean, this year
Okay.
meaning 2025,
Okay.
we'll be holding that again.
Okay.
So yeah, so what, like in your artwork, day-to-day artwork,
Yeah.
what inspires you? Like, what's the process? I mean, first of all, what inspires you?
Yeah, frankly, I love space. So if I have my own space, not just to paint literally, but a feeling of freedom.
Right.
So if I feel, it helps me feel free. And when I'm feeling really free, I want to paint because that inspires me. Freedom inspires me.
Right.
So
okay.
just the feeling of space and light. So even in my surroundings, you'll see a lot of space.
Yeah, a lot of
you'll
space.
See a lot of light.
Very
Yeah, because that just makes me feel I'm there. I'm in my space. I'm in my zone, and then I just want to paint.
Do you paint in the daytime, daylight, or
Yes,
mostly?
daylight
Okay, okay,
mostly.
yeah.
Yes, yes. There was a
And-
time I used to paint through the evenings and night, but then because I felt the light is better and gives you a better impression of your artwork,
Right.
so I started painting in the morning.
Yeah, it's. I think daylight is more true color, but the problem
Yes.
is like most people would see your art in the evening or in
Yes.
galleries.
Yes.
So that would be more true in the sense what
Yes,
you're showing
because
me, right?
yes,
In the end.
but for me to focus on my art, I prefer the daytime.
Daytime, okay, got
Yeah.
it. And what's your process? I mean, like if you let's say you get a canvas, right?
Yeah.
First of all, how do you decide the size? Like. Let's say.
It just sort of, I think, okay, I usually don't do less than maybe say an 18 by 24 because that'll be really small.
18 by 24, yeah.
So, but then if it's say 48 by 36 or even
Oh,
bigger than
that's
that,
big, yeah.
then I decide my sizes, it just comes to me instinctively
sure.
that, okay, I want to do something really big and I want to splash colors.
Right,
and
right.
That's how my brain works. And I
Okay,
say, okay, I
okay.
just want to splash colors now. So I wouldn't probably be splashing colors literally,
Right,
but
I
then
understand.
I'll just decide my size of canvas then.
Right. And what
Yeah.
about, so what's the process? Like, so do you start with splashing color or do you make a sketch or do you
No,
have, like,
I
for
don't
instance,
sketch. I don't sketch.
even for cityscapes, you don't
No, I
sketch.
don't sketch.
You just directly.
I just directly paint.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, so maybe if it's very literal and it's very detailed,
Right,
I'll
right,
have
of
a bit
course.
of sketch pencil there,
Right.
but otherwise I don't.
And then as far as the process in like how do you continue with that, like layers or can
Yeah,
you explain that, please?
So when I've got the first bit,
Mm-hmm.
maybe I've got an impression in my mind, okay, that's what it's going to look like. But the next morning may just be very different.
Right.
And then I'll have yet another layer on it. Though if I've decided it's a cityscape, it's a cityscape.
Right.
But it may just change in style.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
got it, okay.
Yeah.
So, and then like one painting, let's say like a roughly moderate size, like let's say 2 feet by 3 feet, like 36 by 24 or
Yes.
36 by 36 square.
Yeah.
How long does it take for you to finish?
It depends. If I sit for say about 8 hours a day, which I can. So maybe I'll
That's
get up for a meal.
Right, of
I'll get
course,
up for
yeah.
a meal and I'll go back to it. And I've done that pretty often. So especially if I've got a show coming up, then
Right.
I'll do it in a week.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
And then do you put layers? I mean, you did.
I
you
do
did-
put layers. Yeah,
Okay.
so that's how. Yeah,
Okay.
that's how the 8 hours go, because I put a layer and I'm going on and on with it, and the next morning I get up. No, I've got to do this, and then I've got to finish that.
Right,
So
right.
that's how it goes.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Any particular color you're fond of? I'm looking at your
Yeah, blues.
blues. Okay.
Yes,
okay,
I
okay,
like
cool.
blues and greens.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so
got
there's a
it.
lot of that.
Okay. So colder
Yeah.
blue. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So the next question is. This happens to, I'm pretty sure all artists happen to, Gauguin, Van Gogh, and even Monet, and even the, best of artists, most clear-headed artists, is the challenges in life, right?
Yes, yes.
So what kind of challenges did you have, and how did you overcome those?
Okay, so
As far as art goes,
yeah. So of course, when I was very young and I was painting, I
Right.
loved the appreciation and validation I got from
Absolutely.
people, and we don't really look at it any other ways then. But
Right.
as I grew older and I was exhibiting, and you get commercial, that's the biggest challenge I had, because I felt that I'm painting and I'm selling, but because you don't realize that this is art, and art just doesn't sell like that,
Right.
But then gradually I realized that it's affecting the way I'm painting. So I said, okay, I've got to get this out of my head. Fortunately, by God's grace, it didn't take me long to get it out of my head. But I said, okay, I've got to get this out of my head, that I have to stop thinking of how to sell my art.
Right.
Because it's about me, it's
Yes.
about an
Self-expression,
outlet, an
yes.
expression. So it's more about exhibiting and
Getting appreciation.
Yes,
Yeah.
getting validation
Right.
for what you're doing, appreciation for what you're doing. So, and it just sort of miraculously happened that my style completely changed.
Oh, okay.
The next moment that I had this thought in my head that I'm not going to be thinking this way, and that thought just kind of vanished. And I just started pouring myself out, and I call that series, it's a series of 3 artworks that I call the Out of the Box series.
Okay.
And that's
okay.
when I just started. I used the big spatula for that one, I remember. And I just started splashing. It was very, very colorful, and it was like actually me coming out. So that's one series that is very special to me, because it helped me transform myself. And then since then, it's just been sort of flowing from me, because I stopped my focus on how do I sell my art, because it's not about that.
Right. Absolutely. So there's obviously, like I'm looking at the negative
Yes.
aspect of it too.
Yes.
Obviously, there's a great deal of positive aspect on it, because ultimately you would like,
Yes.
even for an author, you would want to
Yes.
write what you want to, right? I mean,
Yes.
you don't want to, sell or
Yeah.
have like cheap things where
Yes, of
people will
course.
buy it.
Of course.
But at one point, like especially for artists who are like striving, or like
Yes.
they are not doing well, or where there is like professional artists where they have to.
Yes.
There's always this thing
Of
about
course,
the
of
dilemma
course.
about that.
Of
that
course.
comes
I think I'm lucky. I'm lucky there to be
Yeah,
able
I
to
mean,
think this way,
right,
because I don't do it for a living.
Right.
Those who do it for a living probably have to think that way.
Yeah.
Maybe somewhere I also at that time thought that I'm going to prove myself if I
Right.
sell. But then that's not how it is.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
Of course, you feel great when you sell a piece of art.
Absolutely,
It's not that
absolutely,
you've
yeah.
disconnected from that.
Absolutely, yeah.
But at the same time, it's not the main thing.
Not the main thing. Yeah,
Yes,
absolutely. That's as long as you get appreciation, even if someone
Yes.
denounces your art,
Yes.
if they have a constructive way of saying, okay, this is what I
Yes.
like and this is what I.
Yes.
That's the
Of course.
what we live
Of
for, right?
course,
What artists
of
live
course,
for. Yeah.
Of course.
Okay, so that's that. And so as far as the styles go, have you thought of any other, like, I see some representational sometimes, like for instance, this one.
Yeah.
Is that like a Durga?
Durga,
It's Durga, right?
Yeah.
So that seems very different from, even though it's,
Yes.
I think it's wrapped, right?
It's wrapped.
Yeah, so,
yes.
so it's muted color, but I'm saying,
Yes.
I'm thinking like it's very different from like many of the pieces you're doing. So
Yeah.
that's like a
No,
representation.
there was a time I was doing series on only the divinities
Okay, so that's part
and
of
the
that.
festivals.
Right.
So that's a part of that. That's
Okay,
a much older piece of artwork.
I really like it. I mean,
Really,
the style and
thanks.
everything, the way it's
I
done.
keep it in
it's
front
very-
because my son loves it.
Okay,
slightly
okay.
curtailed.
So how do you do the details?
Oh,
Like the
yeah.
crown or the,
Yeah.
is that with negative color? Like do
Yeah,
you take out stuff?
yes, I take
Okay,
out stuff,
okay.
and that's how I do it.
Okay,
Yes,
okay, cool.
yes. So that's actually the main Durga, if you
Yes.
see there. So that's done on paper.
Okay.
And then that paper I have stuck on this, and that face with the crown that you see is done on canvas.
Oh, so just the face?
Just the face is on canvas.
Is on canvas?
Is on canvas.
Oh, so the Durga,
And
the whole Durga that I see on the left-hand
is
side,
on paper.
it's on paper. Okay, so
And
that's
I've
stuck
stuck that.
paper stuck there.
Yes.
Okay, okay, and that's a sketch. I mean,
That's a
pretty,
sketch, yeah.
And I like that. That's kind of like a
Yeah.
yeah. Duchamp's like
Yeah.
new descending stairs kind of thing,
Yeah.
like where it's has
Yeah,
the
yeah,
movement
yeah.
there, and it's
Yeah.
excellent. Yeah,
Thanks.
I really like that. 3D,
Thanks.
4D aspect kind of
Yeah,
thing,
yeah.
going through time with all the hands and everything.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, great. Okay, and I see like a lot of pouring colors. So you do a lot of
Yes,
pouring
a lot of
techniques
pouring
and everything, right?
techniques.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you pour first and then you do the details?
Yes,
or?
I pour first and then
Okay.
I do the details. Yes.
Okay, excellent. So you've been a while with us.
Yes.
So how did you get to get in touch with us?
I found it on Art Show.
Right.
And then I was just browsing through galleries, and that's
okay.
when I found TERAVARNA, which was quite some time back.
Right,
And
right,
then
yeah.
I think when I scrolled down to your website, I found this thing about some contest coming up.
Right.
Yeah,
right.
and that's when I applied for it. And then there was something about solo artists registering, and then you selected me as a solo artist to panel on your site,
yeah.
and that's how it all just started.
Okay, okay.
And there was so much appreciation coming from your end, and there's always a response, which is so good.
Right.
Because I used to work with other sites internationally, but they were not always very responsive.
Right.
So this is something I really like about TERAVARNA, because there's always a response to what you want to know and what you want to do.
Yeah,
So-
we try to be like really, I mean, we try to keep it like hours.
Yes.
I mean, sometimes it's
Yes,
days
of course,
or
because
in the
of-
weekends, but we
Yeah.
also try to have like some, one of us being on some continent across the world.
Yes, and with so
someone
many
responds,
artists working with you,
Yeah.
it's amazing to get a one-on-one.
Right,
from
right.
TERAVARNA. So
we
that's
try
really
to-
good.
And we're
Yes.
trying to do like new things where like for instance
Yes.
this one where
Yes.
to promote artists and
Yes.
get them out,
Yeah.
to the world. So what do you think about TERAVARNA? I mean, and you don't have to only say positive things.
Yeah.
Or negative things are okay
No, well,
too,
I
so-
don't think negative things.
Okay, okay.
I actually don't.
Okay, okay.
So yeah, it's been wonderful. I love the award sections that you have, the honorable mention and the
Right.
talent awards, and all of those. And it's again a way of validating yourself,
Right,
that you are
absolutely.
appreciated
On the
and
national stage,
you
yeah.
are, and they're such amazing artists. I mean,
Yes,
truly
we have
amazing, who
great artists,
submit their artworks to you. It's truly amazing to see that. And it's always, you feel good that you are with TERAVARNA, because there's lovely artwork to see in all the exhibitions there.
Right.
Yeah.
Sometimes it becomes very difficult for the judges
I'm
to
sure.
decide.
I'm
because,
sure. Yes,
with the-
especially the first prize winner and the second prize winners are so
Right.
good.
Yeah, it's very
Yeah,
difficult.
yeah.
Yeah. So
You learn so much from what you see.
Exactly. I mean, you
Yes.
get a lot of inspiration too.
Yes,
Like
of
even
course.
I feel like painting all the time, but I don't have the time right now.
Yes,
So,
yes.
so even while looking, sometimes I'm like, boy, man, I need to get into this and
yes,
start
it's
painting.
very
Yeah.
inspiring.
Yeah,
Very,
exactly.
very.
So what advice do you have? Like, what improvements do you want to see out of TERAVARNA? Like, some features that you want to see that you would like. We are always learning from the artists too. That's
Yeah.
one way we learn.
Yeah.
Because a lot of things we weren't doing before, and we are actually slowly starting. We can't do everything at the same time. So, for instance, the interview section we just started a
Oh,
video
this is
interview.
amazing.
We're gonna have also a written interview later on. We're
Okay.
thinking of. But
Okay.
other than that, is there a way you think that as an emerging artist or even like an established artist, your art, you would feel we could, put it out there or do it more?
Frankly, I feel the solo artist sections could get a
Right.
little more room
Boost,
to
room. Okay, grow.
to exhibit themselves a little more. Maybe
Right.
become more visible,
Right. Okay.
because that's a part that could happen.
Yes.
And also, if I want to update my artworks
Right.
there,
Change the-
how would I do it?
Yes, yes, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I'll have someone reach out to
Yeah.
you. So what we do is, as far as I know, and I'm not in the thick of things
Yes.
all the time, but
Yes.
but we do have an option where you can, like, if you have 10 artworks, you can switch
Yeah.
those or swap those a couple of
Okay.
times.
Okay.
And we now have a new section where, like, new solo
Yeah.
profile, where what we do is we actually build up your ranking on Google. So we put you on first page of Google.
Oh, that's
by
really
yeah. I don't know if they probably emailed you, but you
Oh,
probably
wow, maybe I missed
I'll
it.
have
Yeah.
them
Okay.
talk to you again.
Okay.
But yeah, that's something that we are also
Yeah.
doing. So
Yeah.
we guarantee the artist to become like the first
Yes.
page of Google on our
Yes.
page.
Yes.
And when someone looks up, that way they
Yes.
will find you and they'll see you, because visibility is a big deal
it's a
these
big
days with
deal,
Instagram
yes.
and Facebook and
So much.
so many things going
Yes,
on. Unless
yes.
so we are trying to help artists that way, and we
Okay,
already
thank you.
have that. We
Yes,
started
thank
that
you.
I think a couple of months ago.
Oh.
So, but we'll
Yeah,
definitely.
thanks. Also,
yeah.
the thing you were running with Artsy and
Yes,
that was
yes.
nice. Are you still doing it? Promotions and that?
Yes, we're doing
Yeah.
pretty well with Artsy,
Yeah,
and
okay.
and at the very least, even if you're not like, people sell there,
Yeah,
but even if you're not selling,
Even if
we
you're
get
not
a lot
selling,
of hits
of
and
course.
analytics. We look at the
Yes,
analytics. a lot
It
of
comes
people
up on
enjoying.
Google, because when I
Yes,
was,
exactly.
I'm still coming up on Google. Though
Right,
when
right.
I open my page, I'm not
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
But yeah.
So that
Yeah.
like you said, like the sellability,
Yeah.
like you should be there, because it's nowadays what it is what I feel is it's like a multi-pronged thing that you need to do.
Yeah,
Like you need to
yeah.
be on Instagram, Twitter, X or whatever, and,
Yes,
and
yes.
Facebook and everything
Yes.
at the same time,
Yes.
and also Artsy and maybe
Yes,
TERAVARNA and other places too, like real exhibits, like physical exhibits.
Yeah.
So all of that counts, and you never know how you will get the next buyer or next
Of course,
appreciator, like
of
people
course,
who's gonna
of course.
appreciate it. So.
Yes.
Anything else you want to add before we?
No, I just want to thank TERAVARNA again, and thank you, and thank Indira as well,
Yeah, sure.
because she is so amazing.
Yeah,
in
she's an amazing
She keeps in touch
lady.
always, and we know what's going on. And I usually participate in most of the the abstract art and the few others where I fit in.
Right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for having us here, and
Yes.
thank you, Poornima.
Thank you.
Guys, this is TERAVARNA bringing you Poornima Dayal from Mumbai, India, and in her beautiful studio. And we'll have more for you very soon. Thank you very much, Poornima.
Thank you. Thank you.